a tough time, of course. It's so early still. So Wentz is still at the bottom. Right? He finished 24th in fantasy last year, but they did add those weapons you talked about, all those shiny new toys and those cars or whatever amazing references that you just made. Alshon, Torrey Smith, he's still, to me, undraftable in the 12 team, mostly because they have a ridiculous schedule.
They do.
Their schedule is brutal. We'll get to Dak Prescott's schedule here in a little bit. So working our way from the bottom here. Eli Manning, I was torn between he and Dak. The Cowboys' schedule from a fantasy perspective is great because they have the Falcons. They have Green Bay. Those are two shootout, potential-worthy matchups that the other quarterbacks in the division don't actually get. So I think the touchdowns do go up. He's got Evan Ingram there. I like Eli in this spot, having Brandon Marshall and that newly matured Odell Beckham Jr. That's on that spot. Dak moves to number 2, the 6th highest scoring quarterback last year. Do I think he's top 6 this year again? Not quite. Do I think he throws more interceptions than 4? Yeah, I'd say so. But the schedule I mentioned earlier, plus the rushing ability, lands him here at number 2 in this division. 6 rushing touchdowns. That's sort of the icing on the cake in fantasy terms. And, you know, that was tied for most in the game last year. So he should be top 10 still. And Kirk Cousins is number 1.
Still. I love it, Kay.
I know what you're saying. But, Kay, he lost Deshaun. He lost Pierre Garçon. Well, they could almost afford to because they had so much depth. We talked about it over and over again last year. They still have Crowder, who's moving on up and having a bigger role, getting more reps. But here comes Pryor off a successful season, now playing with a Pro Bowl quarterback. I like it. This is Cousins. We know what he does. He gets the ball out of his hands. He's a high-volume guy. And he had just one game under 260 yards all of last year. And in that game, he threw 3 touchdowns. So from a fantasy perspective, I'm taking him over Jameis Winston inside the top 10. Who would you take? Fantasy perspective?
Whoa,
Kirk Cousins.
Talk about toys? Jameis got some new toys now.
We're talking.
Toss that rock
I'm
around.
talking volume. You think so?
I believe so. I believe they're going to lean on the passing game this year.
What do you think? What would you take, Jameis or Kirk?
I'd take Kirk.
Yeah.
I really would. Jameis throws a lot of interceptions. I like Kirk, and I'd love Terrell